Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucie.
Hello. What a spicy new intro.
You like the intro?
Yeah.
It's exciting, right? It's a little collection of some of our greatest visual gags. What do you think of the choices? Should I have included?
Well, I think I encourage the choice of Britkin.
Yeah.
And you also had some finance boy in there.
It was a finance boy. I would like something where I'm like hang gliding or like spelunking or doing something more, I feel like it's just me talking a lot and you talking a lot. There should be something where I'm fighting off like an assailant. Like where there's someone who's like trying to harm us and I'm stopping it, whether it's real or not. I mean, like we make our own truth now. This is post fact America, where I could just, we have the equipment now. We could hire a guy as an actor to dress up in like, what'd you call the clip? Spicy? The intro? Yeah. We'll have him wear a spicy pair of pantyhose and try to, break in the apartment. And I'm just like, putting my mouth,
I was thinking,
just saying, just get away, or there'll be a mess in here.
I was thinking,
get away, there'll be a mess in here.
There should have been.
When you get in here, there'll be a mess for you to find if you don't stop knocking on the door.
There should be at least one image of you wielding a hammer.
Yeah. Well, there was a story about a woman who, we'll get to that in a minute. I don't think we put that in the rundown, but there was a hammer story. I'll try, we'll come to that in a minute. Before we move on, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to the show, right? It helps the show. It helps you. You'll be a better person. You'll impress your kids. Your kids will want to know who you are. They won't be sitting there going like, I know you're like, you raised me, but I was thinking about like, getting into like a real estate scam where you like leverage your house. Right, where I like take your mortgage and I get to do a reverse mortgage. You know what reverse mortgage is?
Yeah,
they usually use it to like defraud elderly people who are on the verge of dying. But it's the kind of thing that like kids do to their parents.
Right.
Don't be one of those parents. Subscribe to the show. Your kids don't care who you are right now. Stay relevant in their eyes and in their minds. There was a hammer story.
A hammer story?
There was some kind of hammer story regarding, I don't know, it was a woman had killed her landlord.
Really?
Yes.
With a hammer?
With a hammer. I don't know the details of it. Can you try to Google that real quick? Sure. Woman hammer landlord? This is, you said hammer and just brought all this to all the light and delight.
Ah.
So what's going on here?
Woman kills ex-landlord with hammer after he confronted her about forged checks.
Yeah, that's a look. If you got someone forging checks on you, it's probably always risky to confront them about it. Best to just do nothing and take the loss. Because someone who's forging checks, they're like a rat. They'll just it could have been a hammer, it could have been a ball of cheese. I guess the ball of cheese wouldn't have hurt you though. Razor blades in the cheese. Little rats like chewing on a piece of cheese. That's the thing. If you're a rat check forger, having a big ball of cheese with like razor blades hidden in it is perfect because you can be gnawing on the cheese, and then when someone confronts you about the checks you forged, you know where the razor blades are.
Right.
You throw it at them. It's a weapon and food. Yeah. But yeah, is there more to this story, or we?
I can read some of it. A Massachusetts woman allegedly beat her former landlord to death with a hammer. She looks kind of tiny too. I mean, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, the hammer leverages gravity.
Yeah, and wrapped his body in a curtain. Wow, this is a strong woman. Yeah. Isn't it really hard to wrap up?
He might have been a very small man.
Yeah.
He might have been a little person, or just short. And frail.
Sure. So she wrapped his body in a curtain after he found out she was forging checks in his name and had stolen over $40,000.
Wow.
Zhu Fengqi 43 of Newton, was arrested and arraigned on a murder charge Wednesday in connection with the death of her former landlord, Leonard Garber, 65. The Middlesex, so yeah.
It seems weird, like, I mean, I guess the news has to do it, but it seems weird for us to be saying their names. I'm not blaming you. It's more like, why does the news, like, why do I, some articles don't need names.
Right.
Why do I need their names? It's like, he's dead. I mean, like, you know, make sure not to, like, you know, forge checks in that neighborhood. Someone's already doing it.
Yeah.
You know? Just call her, hammer, check hammer. No, I don't care.
Hammer check.
I'm done with this. Enough. We're exploiting people.
Yeah, no, like this is a death, obviously.
But we feel, but don't say that because the YouTube algorithm will pick up on you saying that. I've been trying to avoid saying graphic things.
Why did you encourage us to start with a hammer murder story?
It just came up. I'm just trying to get by. This is the world we live in now. It's just constant, like, you know. All right, how many minutes in are we talking about that?
Right.
How many minutes in did you mention that your uterus fell out? Don't mention your uterus fell out. They're not gonna monetize you. You want your kids to eat? Your kids eat monetization. All right? That's how they live. That's how they breathe. There's not, and you know, I can't say what they don't. Because it won't monetize. Yeah. I can't say that's how they die.
Right.
They just did. You know? Your kids have to...
Look,
I wish we didn't have kids.
Me too.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about this already,
yeah, I
feel like there was a time when a woman who murdered this effectively would get a nickname.
This is just, like, how is the Aflac duck going to be posted next to that? This woman, a woman was a very effective murderer. Aflac.
I just feel like she would get a nickname at one point. Yeah,
I understand. You know, it's like you know what's the big massacre? The My Lai massacre?
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of the My Lai massacre, then just cuts to like going like, you know, you let come to the ground round. Come to the ground round. We got burgers and shakes. Don't worry about what you just saw. We can't be held accountable. We're the ground round. We don't know what this fat idiot's saying. Sorry.
Should we move on?
No, it's fine.
She would get him a nickname, like the Black Widow or something.
Well, yeah. Was she get in the MCU?
Or Hammer.
So you're saying this woman should be in the MCU? I mean, she might as well. He's the MCU, or MCU, as some people say. I don't think it's any longer very good. So maybe we should get criminals and put them into Marvel movies.
That would be a fresh take. It would be a bold choice.
Who's a recent criminal?
Well, there was another guy who beheaded his landlord.
Okay,
it could just be a bunch of landlord killers.
He can be Captain America. I guess the Hammer Girl can be. Well, you're making a Black Widow.
Yeah.
Some fat guy could be the Hulk. Some guy who, like, you know, got fat and ate himself into a coma. When he wakes up, he could be the Hulk. This is a new MCU.
Yeah.
It's just people who've hurt people.
If only themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, isn't that a thing with the Hulk where it's like, I'm never not angry or whatever. That's my secret. That's my secret little potion. I'm always angry. This version is just, I'm always eating cake. He's just eating like the worst cake. He's just eating like some it's just like one of those like cakes that look like something, but it's just like a really like a strange child from like an old Christian cartoon. You know, one of those with tiny eyes. This cake, he's just eating that. He's the Hulk. Welcome to the show. Moving on, I guess. We went and saw a movie yesterday.
We did.
We went and saw this movie, not because, well, at least for me, you pitched it as like, this might be good for the show. We can talk about it in the show. Because we mentioned it recently. We were talking about it a couple episodes ago. This film, what was it? This one, Don't Worry, Darling. This is a film starring Chris Pine and Greta Gerwig directed it.
Olivia Wilde directed it.
Olivia Wilde directed it,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of controversy going. It's basically a Stepford Wives whatever type of movie, right?
Yeah, definitely very in the vein of Stepford Wives.
Very much in the ripping off of Stepford Wives,
Right.
and ripping off of Blue Velvet, in my opinion. You know.
And not even really modernizing it.
Right.
Like the Stepford Wives is about the exact same time period.
Yeah, no, like make everything the 50s.
Yeah.
It's like the laziest, and it's not just Greta Gerwig doing this. It's just like in general, everyone likes to go to the 1950s and like make it like, oh, things are not what they seem. Yeah, no, we were doing MK Ultra. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about Operation Paperclip? Not like, oh, the men make the women make meatloaf. What a horror! Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't have to make meatloaf.
Look, I'm sure it can be a horror when you're forced to make meatloaf.
Look,
but it's
horror. It's problematic.
I'm sure it wears on.
How
you.
bad is making meatloaf? You're putting your hand in meat and you're squeezing it. It's nice. Don't you people like baking, right?
I like baking.
People say baking is very therapeutic and calming.
Yeah.
Well, meatloaf is just meat baking, right? You're kneading the meatloaf. Look, if you're a housewife in the 50s and you can't like that meatloaf, kneading that meatloaf is like the only calm you get in the day when your dumb kids are yelling about what's on Cowboy Bill's show, or like the girls like, I want an easy bake heroin addict, whatever, easy bake heroin.
The girl's trying to go trans and you have to stop her.
In the 50s, you would, yeah. You would none of this. Let them, whatever. That doesn't exist in the 50s. You know what doesn't exist in the 50s? Angry Birds. What a hell.
It's horrific.
Point is, I'm just saying, it's just like, let's include the fact that we were throwing soldiers into like LSD trips, and then they jumped over the Empire State Building.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's dynamic filmmaking.
Yeah.
Moving on from this tirade, but this movie has got controversy because of one Jordan Peterson. I know, we keep bringing him up. He's a ubiquitous figure in America.
Yeah, that's part 2 of the controversy. We talked about part 1, where she was kind of trying to play both sides of the fence with Shia LaBeouf and Florence Pugh.
She sold out Florence Pugh like a little rat.
She threw her right under the bus.
Because Shia LaBeouf was like, I don't know. Look, Hollywood just seems like a real weird purgatory now. It doesn't seem funny. The Rat Pack's dead. River Phoenix is dead. His brother's alive. Whatever. Cool. Good luck. Yay. I mean, I'm happy for him. But what? I mean, it's just Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh and what's his name? Shia LaBeouf.
Harry Styles.
These people are all. What happened to the guy from Terminator?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. He was nice.
He's still around.
That was a movie star. That was I look at Arnold Schwarzenegger ripping some biker's clothes off and burning him on a griddle in the back of a bar. I'm like, I can't do that. I said. I look at Harry Styles. Yeah, he's like better looking than me, but like I can do that. I can like do a little tap dance.
You don't think that Florence Pugh and Don't Worry, Darling, crushing an egg and realizing there's no yolk in it.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil this.
Is as exciting as Terminator.
Every movie should be Terminator, or at the very least Terminator 2. I would love to see Harry Styles try to stop Arnold Schwarzenegger from biting his face. That would be a movie. What happened to spectacle? Everything's in the MCU now. They're like, if you want to watch like two criminals like fight over a pineapple, you have to watch Marvel movies like a child. Right. I want adult movies. Anyway, but yeah, so Chris Pine is in this film also. He's playing Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Not literally, but in an unprecedented move, Olivia Wilde admitted she based his character on Jordan Peterson. This is that's us. I screwed that up. What is this? Still, Chris Pine. This is him. That's him. That's her vision of Jordan Peterson. It's he looks like a villain in like the Rocketeer. Looks like he's on a Zeppelin right now. Like he's just leading, like he's leading the American like Nazi party in a Zeppelin war against the Capitol. He looks like he's screaming about voting machines.
It's strange to me that she would be so like forward about being like, this guy is Jordan Peterson, because in the movie he's like the least eventful villain I've seen in any movie.
He does he does nothing.
Yeah,
he's a big nothing burger.
He makes a speech and that's it.
This movie's about I don't know what like some should we not, I don't want to spoil it, right?
Why? I mean,
it just seems like people don't do that.
I guess not.
We would get in trouble if we told
what
everyone.
What if we just said there will be spoilers? Yeah,
there'll be a spoiler where you find out someone's an incel. This whole time someone's been an incel, and Jordan Peterson is just like, is just teaching him how to fucking clean his room.
But yeah, I mean, Olivia Wilde definitely overestimates how scary dancing is. There's a lot of scary dance scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like the Rockettes, but they have weird face paint on.
Yeah, it's like Dumbo kind of when he takes that like LSD trip.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I didn't think it resembled Jordan. It was kind of bugged me the whole time because I knew she based this on him. Usually you don't say that. You say, no, we were inspired by a bunch of sources. I actually based a lot of this on Alexander the Great. Right. Or whatever. You say stuff like that. Even though it's obviously a hit piece against what you view as incels.
Right.
I don't know if Pearson's really into... She claimed he was the king of the incels or something.
Right.
Which I don't know if Jordan Peterson's sitting around going like, now remember, the Beckys are the ones who won't have sex with you. I don't know if he... Like, I mean, I guess he's more of an incel than like Sylvia Plath was. But whatever. But the movie, I didn't think it was great. But there was some work... Peterson was on... There was some controversy, right? It's in the news.
Yeah, well, it got back to Jordan Peterson.
They told him.
Who, had an interesting response to it. And if this was cynical, I got to hand it to him. Because, I think this definitely makes him come off, better. But, yeah.
Okay, let's watch some of this.
I have to. I want to ask you just quickly, the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men.
Is there anyone more useless than what's his name again? Pierce Morgan?
Pierce Morgan is such a moron.
These are men who steal apples. They're newsies. What is this? They're weirdo loner men. Okay. I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah. I guess it is a loner move to drive a truck into a crowd of people.
Was that an incel thing?
That was an incel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are men who don't have sex. Interesting.
Who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Sure. Why not?
Well, I mean, look, this is to be fair, this is a rhetorical move I've seen him use before, where it's like, do you worship at the Dark Lord's feet? Do you drink the blood of Christ of the enemies of Satan?
Yeah. Sure,
why not? If you're gonna say that about me, what am I gonna do? Deny it? Make any case against it? No.
Make any attempt to defend myself in good faith?
I'm gonna make you look like a dumb woman.
Yeah.
People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. What a terrible thing to do that is.
What are you saying to them? You give them condoms and cherry Coke? Look at what is he doing?
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
It's making you emotional.
How do you go out of your way to make a satire of this man?
Yeah.
And your best you can do is have Chris Pine just sitting there drinking an old fashioned.
Right.
And doing a little little dance.
Yeah, like Chris Pine dressed as a big band leader.
This guy's constantly sobbing on the air, talking about how he's the voice. He's the voice of sexless men, and all you can do is have him just like crisp, stupid Captain Kirk.
Yeah, just like be vaguely bad. Like
this sucks.
Yeah, like we were talking about this before too. I was like, this is such Jordan Peterson, regardless of what you think about him, is such a distinct human being in his like public image. And it's like, I've never seen like why there's no like good SNL impression of him.
Right.
Like it doesn't make its way into like any kind of like good, like specific cultural satire.
Who do you think, who should have played him in the annals of NSS? Like, who would have been the best Peterson? I have a good idea in my head.
What's your idea?
Kevin Nealon.
Ooh.
Yes. I don't know. You just
maybe,
put some gray hair on Kevin Nealon. He's almost there. Or Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
I think it would have been great. Except Chris Farley. And like David Spade could play his daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there more to this? Does it keep going crazier?
I mean,
let's see.
Yeah, let's play it.
Well, God,
What is
very
that?
difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category. And you get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean? It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, like, be picky. That's your gift, man. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like they're lonesome, and
he can't, like, he's kind of stuck in the middle because he's always telling men to like get their act together,
right?
And then he's like, and then basically with the incels, it's kind of like, well, the women are too picky.
Yeah,
it's like, no, why aren't these incels fighting dragons?
Right.
What would fighting the dragon look like today?
It's almost like taking a disaffected young man who might be severely depressed and giving him as a sole piece of advice, slay the dragon, isn't actually going to make him less lonely or disaffected.
I think my mom's the dragon.
I think my mom's the dragon.
I mean, what is he like?
I think he does come off. I think one of his best like public talents and like public speaking is being able to be vulnerable. Yeah, because it's like this makes Olivia Wilde look pretty bad. I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, to who though? To anyone? I mean, does it matter? Who's actually admitting? Who besides?
That's a good point. Like to who?
Who besides us defends this man?
Do we defend him?
I mean,
I feel like we mostly make fun of him. But.
Yeah, but look, there's only so much I can do. But I mean, right. I'm not gonna let Olivia Wilde take cheap shots at him and like call it like a great piece of filmmaking. Yeah,
it just feels like the thing that like an out of touch person would think about Jordan Peterson. Like where it's like it's you just heard like little scraps in the news,
right?
And you're just trying to put together like a criticism of him,
right? Jordan Peterson shouldn't invade Laos. Yeah.
What to do, and everyone piles abuse on them.
When she said that, Olivia Wilde, it stung you, didn't it? That's all the reaction.
By that time, that as far as critiques go, that was kind of low level. I mean, once I got painted as Red Skull, magical super.
Wait, he's on the same page. So he's going to be in the MCU also. Yeah. He's going to be fighting. She's painting me as Red. That's his go-to like. That's his go-to tyrant, like Red Skull. I guess he doesn't want to say when she painted me as Hitler.
Yeah.
But
super Nazi. That was kind of the end of the insults. There's no place past that. So when Olivia Wilde made those comments, the first thing I did was go look at the preview for her movie, which I quite liked. I thought I would go see that movie probably, and perhaps I will. It didn't really bother me.
What does he mean, perhaps he will? Is that like, wouldn't he call himself a cuck for doing that?
I guess it's his way of looking magnanimous.
But it just looks weak. It looks like, I might still give it, I might still go, because I have no self-respect.
Yeah.
I cry on camera.
I was just thinking cameramen must hate him. Because he just swings his torso around.
That's interesting, yeah. Yeah, I have to stay in this box here. See, and I can't do. Well, I guess I could move more.
I talked about it right away, and we were able to respond to it with some degree of humor, which then people completely misunderstood. I said I hope that, that if I had to be played by someone, I think Chris Wilde, is that?
Chris Wilde?
Looking man, and so that seems...
How you use this stupid Pierce Morgan? What was it, Chris Wilde? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Chris Wilde plays you. Who's playing me? Hemingway? I think Charles Hemingway. Wait, is it Charles? No, it's Ernest.
Ernest.
But he's saying Charles.
Yeah.
All right, and then I said something like, I hope he gets my fashion style choice right when he plays me. And it was a joke. All that was a joke.
I mean, you've been so controlled today.
I think this is good, right?
Yeah.
We've milked this this cat. We've milked this cat far enough. Look, we don't recommend it.
No,
as a film.
It wasn't very good.
I would love to see an MCU film that really goes after Jordan Peterson. Where they make him a giant cat who has who has a sack. He's got this sack of little pencils and cookies that he throws at men. Why don't you do some harm? Chaos, give some chaos to the world. And he throws cookies at them. why don't you hurt a woman? Throw the cookies, a cookie and a pencil.
Is he? Would he be the main antagonist for the landlord slayers?
Yes, yeah. They had to fight Jordan Peterson, who's just giving pencils to the guys who hate women. Here's a little eraser as a treat. These little prizes. And he's just motivating people. Cause don't tell me no one's gonna do it for that. People do stuff for virtual tokens online. They'll certainly hurt women for pencils. Something like that. Something low. We don't need a lot of CG in this movie. The CG in these movies aren't good anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about that. So you get rid of the CG. At the end of the day, it's just good and evil. So what if it's a pencil? It's a pencil and an eraser and a guy who hates women versus
and a big cat.
Versus just violent criminals with hammers who've been deputized by the government. Why don't we should run Hollywood?
Yeah.
Why don't we?
I don't know, because it's just not a fair world.
Because we're lazy.
Yeah, and also we're lazy.
we just sit around eating tortas all day, Mexican sandwiches, delicious Mexican sandwiches instead of trying to shape the industry.
We had a sandwich recently that was a Vietnamese pancake sandwich. It was delicious.
Yeah, it was with duck. I don't know. What do you want me to say? Describe food in the show? Is what the show is now?
I'm trying to explain why we don't run Hollywood. It's because
I don't want people knowing about my secret sandwiches. Anyway, don't ever bring up a sandwich in the show that I eat. I'll lose my freaking mind. Moving on. Trevor Noah. Who's he?
New host of now old host. Soon to be old host of The Daily Show.
Oh, the Kilborn Show.
The show famously that was hosted by Craig Kilborn.
So what happens? This guy, Trevor Noah, he's from South Africa originally.
Yeah.
And he just he wants to get out of America again.
I mean, I don't know. He might be sticking around in America.
He's leaving the show after 7 years. I guess he doesn't have to leave. I'm not telling him to leave. I don't know why he would. It seems like a pretty easy job. You just sit there and make cheap shots at Mitch McConnell. Which I'm like, again, I'm not defending Mitch McConnell, but you don't see me spending all day going like, doesn't he look like a bug? Whatever. I've never watched this Daily Show, so I don't know. But I assume it's what they do. So what's going on? Why is this man leaving?
It was kind of vague, but I guess in his farewell address, he was saying that he wants to travel more and do different things and learn languages.
Learn language for what?
I guess it's just cool to know a different language. I guess it doesn't have to be any particular reason.
So what he can say? Get this poor cretin away from my cabana in Portuguese. Get this family away from my giant cooler on the beach. where I keep all my giant hams. I just picture him going to poor countries eating giant hams. He seems like a guy who I want him to come to a poor country and you know how like Escobar used to and mob guys used to go and bring turkeys to people on Thanksgiving.
Right.
I want him to go to poor countries with bags of trucks of turkeys, and then just stop in a village, a really poor village, and another truck pulls up, and he's just unloading the truck and putting the turkeys on another truck, and then they drive away. So everyone thinks they're getting a nice turkey, and then they get nothing. That's how I picture this scenario going down. Are people upset that do people know the show is still on? What is going on here?
I've seen. I was looking at the YouTube comments underneath his video, saying he was leaving, and there did seem to be some people on there who started watching the show with him as the host, and I guess they like him. But
Oh, okay.
I know. but what, dude? What do you mean? Are people upset? I think some people are upset.
There doesn't seem to be an uproar, does there?
No, what are they going to uproar about? He can't voluntarily leave.
Well, when Jon Stewart left, I'm sorry, I'm breaking a bit. I do know who Jon Stewart is. I mean, we went after him a month ago, didn't we, on the show?
I don't think we went after him.
I'm just saying we spent the whole episode. I spent the whole episode taking shots at him.
I did think anytime we talk about anything, you just remember it as us viciously going after.
I'm trying to get in a radio war with these people or YouTube war.
Fair enough.
This is old school. We're trying to start feuds. But anyway, Jon Stewart, when he left, people were like, this is an end of an era.
Right.
This is the guy who invented politics or whatever they think he did. He invented being a prick. He was just happy.
Man, you were really a Craig Kilborn loyalist, right?
I mean, there was a fun. When I saw the Craig Kilborn Daily Show that 1 year it was on, I was like, this is perfect. And then they brought Jon Stewart in, the guy from Big Daddy. But whatever. But look, that being said, when he left, people did seem to like that Big Daddy energy, and now no one seems to care about Trevor Noah.
Yeah, well, the further you get away from Adam Sandler's orbit, the less people care about you, I think.
Yeah. Trevor Noah really should be in The Wedding Singer 2, straight to DVD, where he just plays the Steve Buscemi part. Who was Steve Buscemi in that? He's just some drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, just have Trevor Noah star in some Happy Madison slop. Who cares? What is your greatest memory of the Trevor Noah Daily Show?
Jeez. I remember, my biggest Trevor Noah Daily Show related memory is being on the subway and seeing a big subway poster for the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. And it had featured a bunch of quotes from people who were from the Jon Stewart classic Daily Show, like John Oliver and, Sam B and all these folks. And it was funny because all of the quotes were stuff like, he has giant shoes to fill. This is going to be difficult for him. I give him all the support in the world. Really hope it works out. There was nothing that was just hilarious, instant hit. It was like.
I mean, was that the gag though? Maybe.
It wasn't. I don't think it was explicit enough to be a gag.
Really?
It was
It was just. I mean, at what point do you not scrap the billboard idea?
Yeah.
It's like you get John Oliver's I don't know. I guess he's better than a walking corpse. And they're like, look, we gotta put something on the side of this bus. The only people who are gonna watch this show are people who go near buses. All right, so we can't just not fill this space. Can you imagine? Can you imagine watching a show when you weren't stuck on a bus?
Yeah.
They just piped the show into a bus.
Yeah.
Imagine being on.
It should be filmed on a bus.
He should be a bus. It should be
hosted by a bus.
It should be like Ben Bailey's Cash Cab, but instead you just get bad jokes instead of money.
Do you have any Trevor Noah Daily Show memories?
I'm trying to think if he ever maced me on the street. I don't remember. I don't think he did. No, I have no memories.
You've been maced by most political comedians, so that's...
Yeah, most. I mean, look, usually I'm yelling something at them like, you lack nuance! Or Get the facts first. I'm shaking like a fruit at them, like a kumquat or coconut, or like a pineapple. I was just walking around. I'm walking around with a menacing fruit, shaking. Get all the facts before you run your mouth. And one of their guards usually like bum rushes me, and it's fine. Like whatever. There's a new trend out. I want people to know about this. I don't think we can stay silent. There's a new TikTok is where the world is, right? That's kind of how the world operates. Whatever TikTok says, that's the new trend. Like there's no more celebrities. There's no more. Everything's been flattened, right? No one cares who the president's having sex with or giving pills to. It's not Camelot. No one cares who's hosting the Tonight Show. It's all about TikTok. And there's a new trend that you found. What? I didn't even know you go on TikTok, by the way. Are you just scurrying the internet while I'm not looking?
Well, it popped up in my feed, this new trend. And, it caught my eye because I have a relationship with this food product that it involves.
Well, you're unique in that way. It's very uncommon.
I have a relationship with food.
So this is the new trend. It is called butter boards.
That is a whole stick of butter.
Yeah.
And it's smeared on a charcuterie board, and it's surrounded by bread. And it's dressed with like stuff. It looks like there's a little bit of honey here. There's some red onion.
They're just taking butter, putting it on a cutting board.
Yeah.
And then they're covering it with all sorts of junk. So it's just butter with like crap in it.
I think it's great.
All right, so like, what kind? First of all, is this whipped butter or unwhipped?
I guess it could be either one, but this looks like it might be unwhipped.
So what country is this taking place in?
This is the USA, baby.
This happens here.
Yeah.
Do we have a video? We have a video. Let's look at this TikTok. How does this work?
Viral food trend. And before someone gets all bent out of shape because of the large amount of butter on a board, just relax. It's meant to be shared just like you would a charcuterie board. On mine, I added flaky salt, lemon zest, crispy garlic that I sauteed in olive oil.
So just, don't get out of hand here. I'm not eating all this butter. I'm sharing it with my little babies. My babies are eating some of this butter, aren't you?
Chives, Marcona almonds, and topped it off with Aleppo.
You know some woman's just getting dumped by some guy who like said he was into big women, but then so what's the problem here? I thought you like big women, but like he meant like something else. he didn't mean some woman who just eats butter, a cutting board full of butter straight to her face.
No, like this is delusional. Like it's like the idea that people aren't just going to be housing entire sticks of butter with this method is crazy.
Why not just eat? I mean, it's already in a stick, butter. Why not just eat the stick? You're spreading it out, you're putting paprika on it, and you're calling it like charcuterie. This is gross.
It's a fun, bougie way to enjoy bread and butter, 10 out of 10. The viral butter board, but using plant-based butter. I topped this one with flaky salt, figs, nectarines, Marcona almonds, and a drizzle of honey, which you can omit if you're vegan. I served it with crackers, and it was super...
Wait, vegans don't eat honey? That seems really dumb. Sorry, vegans. But like, are bees really animals?
Yeah, I guess they think. I've heard that like maybe like the process of making honey kills a lot of bees.
Bees kill a lot of Macaulay Culkins and my girl.
Also, I think some vegans just don't. That's true. I think a lot of like vegans just don't believe in stealing the fluids of animals.
That's the only thing to enjoy you get in life.
Yeah.
Super delicious, but I'm a real butter girl through and through, so I give it an 8 out of 10.
Is that her Tinder profile? I'm a real butter girl. 10 out of 10. I mean, this girl. I mean, what does she post on her like anti-men forums? Like, I gotta know. Where is it? Where is the current place where women go to kvetch about men?
I think there's a bunch of different subreddits and
So she's on like r/scoundrels. And she's saying, this guy, I was up front on Bumble. And I said I'm a butter girl, and he must have. And he said like later on, I found out he thought I meant, some kind of like sexy thing, like ooh, I'm smooth like butter, or like I'm sexy like butter. But no, I eat a lot of butter. I think about 3 tubs. By tubs, I just mean those little, those breakstone butters. I don't mean like a big giant tub. Like just 3 of those things a day.
Sometimes I'll just I'll melt down some, just kind of like the kind of butter you get to put on your popcorn at a movie theater.
Yeah.
And I'll just put it in a bowl and eat it like soup. And I was very upfront with that.
Right.
But he rejected me.
He said that my ass smelled. Can you believe that? He said, "I'm sorry, but your ass stinks like rotten butter." Because I can't, and he was probably right, because I can't really keep things inside me anymore. They just slide out down the bottom hole. If you know what I mean, ladies. If you know what I'm hinting at, my bottom hole just leaks. Because all I eat is butter with raisins mixed in.
We should I wonder if we could make that a TikTok trend, just a butter soup. Like, you just throw it's just melted butter, you throw some lentils in there.
I want to do, that's great. I want to take that one step further. I want to do like a Impossible Jokers, what's that show called?
Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, that thing. There was something in that style. But like we get people who are on dialysis, and we convince them that this is the new dialysis. It's just pumping butter inside you through your blood, right? And then it's like, and they call them butter kidneys. And here's the twist: it's not a prank show. We just do it, and then we see what happens. But we are filming it. Like they think it's a prank show, and then you're like, wait, you're actually hooking this up? Don't worry, it's not actually. And it's like, what is that? Don't worry about it. Shut up. It's a laugh mic. We're laughing you up for the interview, but they're actually arguing. We'll probably go to jail for this. Because we're gonna have cameras rolling as people who normally have dialysis get butter, and we see what happens.
Jesus.
Again, why are we not working for the industry?
I don't know. I'll never know.
I can't sell Gillette razors because I want to put butter inside people against their will. You telling me I can't? You're telling me the Gillette razor company has a problem with that? That's where they draw the line? Hey, can we lower the price of this metal? These little bits of metal? No, they're $50 each. And if you try to shoplift it, we'll behead you. We'll keep behind this glass that goes me. Yeah. But God forbid some lunatic tries to tell people to buy our product while shoving butter into people. Sick of it. I'm sick of the hypocrisy of Hollywood. I can sell products. Should we just start approaching potential advertisers and kind of start getting aggressive with them?
Aggressive how?
Hey, Gillette, I don't know who you think you're dealing with.
I mean, I don't know. I've never listened to your show. I don't.
Don't try and snowball me here.
Snowball.
Here's the situation.
Would you like to tell me about your show, and then we can decide if it's a good fit?
We're an aggressive. We have this new thing where we shove butter into people.
What? Wait, sorry. Shove butter into people?
Yeah, it's a prank show, but it's not.
Well, look, we love prank shows. I mean, how does this butter prank?
So we tell them it's a prank show, but then we really put butter into them. Dialysis victims.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, you just forcefully insert butter into people?
Well, it starts out not forcefully. It's just a prank show that goes wrong.
Has anyone gotten seriously injured?
Yeah. I feel really bad. What do you want me to do about it? I'm like, Jesus Christ. I can't bring him back from the dead. He's not Lazarus. He's some guy who ate butter through his blood.
I mean, did you not know that doing that was going to kill them?
I wasn't sure. Who the hell are you? Who are you? The right hand of God? Get out of here. You make razors. How many people kill themselves with your razors?
Well, we invest heavily in it.
What am I worried about monetizing? Oh, we're getting monetized. Just attacking random brands.
Look, Gillette invests heavily into anti-suicide messaging and advertising because we know that sometimes people kill themselves with razors.
Stop saying that. We're going to demonetize.
It seems that your show, this butter dialysis show, has just intentionally done harm.
Not so much intentionally. It's just a little bit. We were hoping for the best. It didn't. We were hoping that like somehow it worked. Anyway, can you just give us like $200 a week?
No, Gillette would get hammered if they advertised this show. I mean, do you have any family-friendly pranks that we could?
What if we find bald people and we glue rats to their head with like industrial glue, the kind of glue you use to put missiles back together? I don't know.
Yeah, that could be kind of funny. We might put an ad there.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna kill people. By the way. They're gonna die. It'll melt through their skin. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what prank. I honestly don't know what pranks are.
Yeah.
Like what were I can't think of a single prank. What were the prank? Give me an example of a prank.
I guess a prank would be, if you let's say somebody's in a deli and they order a sandwich.
Okay.
And then the guy, gives them
put a gun in their mouth. Go here. Say goodbye. Say hello to the Grim Reaper, you bitch.
I might not know what pranks are either because I'm really trying to think.
Like they ask for turkey and you give them ham. Honestly, I feel like your thing would get more trouble.
Yeah.
Because people don't like ham. Like God tells them not to eat ham. Jewish people, Muslim people, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like you would get canceled before me. I would end up in the MCU. Just wrong dialysis man, or whatever they call me.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's an asteroid. What's this asteroid thing you got?
We hit an asteroid with a spacecraft.
Crap. What are we doing this for?
Well, we were figuring out.
Dramatic images show spacecraft collision with an asteroid. This is it? Is the video? Is there a video?
Yeah,
the video.
This is some images of.
What happens? Just an ad?
Who's talking is my new.
No, get rid of this. Enough. What happened? Tell me. You explain to me. That the media doesn't work. Tell me what happened.
So the DART mission made history this week when it successfully slammed into an asteroid. And
that was a mission? I thought it was to like push the asteroid.
Well, I think that's the success of it. It pushed the asteroid.
Did it push it? I thought they said by hitting it. What are these morons do? What happened at NASA? Didn't they used to like do things that like mattered? Now they're just throwing old Scud missiles that they originally like tried to drop on Iraq. Now just throwing them at a weird asteroid like it's an Atari game.
I mean,
what would you find?
Well, this could save the planet potentially. As a spacecraft for NASA's double asteroid redirection test neared its target Monday, images streamed back to Earth at the rate of 1 per second of the asteroid Dimorphos. Is that how you pronounce it?
This is the worst story in the world.
Dimorphos.
This sucks so much. Go ahead.
Which orbits? You don't think space is interesting?
No. I mean, I do. I just don't think this is interesting.
Yeah.
Dimorphos, which had never been seen before, turned out to be egg-shaped and covered in boulders. The rocky asteroid had surprised scientists who were eager to study the images captured by DART before it crashed in a blaze of glory. This just sounds like they've given up at NASA. It sounds like, didn't they they went to the moon, or they faked one of those two. They either faked it, which is insane, or they went. And now we're tossing things at rocks.
Well, look, if an asteroid was heading for Earth,
yeah,
we could use this to make sure it only.
Who's we?
Well, human beings.
Then I'm not gonna live to see this. I'm gonna be putting some camp. I guess. So did they push it or not?
They push it so it either doesn't hit Earth or maybe just hits
That's the plan. Did it work?
It seems like it worked.
What do you mean it seems like it? Shouldn't it say, like, shouldn't there be data? Wouldn't an article used to say, like, yes, and Bob McKipsey from NASA said that, the rock was pushed 6 parsecs to the left or some crap. Did they just go, yeah, look, we did what we wanted to do. NASA did a thing and then they liked it. That's all the article is. No one gives me, I want data. Raw data. How much did you move it?
Yeah.
They might have moved it like a tiny bit, like the amount, like a size of a penny. A penny's worth of inches.
You're not impressed even if they succeeded in moving it a penny worth?
No.
You're not impressed?
Unless that penny's worth, like, how these scientists pretend they know things and like, we don't understand that little bit over, now it's off course and they just lie. They just look, nothing's hit the world for a long time. And so if I was an asteroid scientist, I would just lie. No, it's not going to hit us. It's fine. Right. If it does, what? You going to arrest me? Yeah. I would just lie about that. I would just be like, nah, the sun flares, the solar flares from Pierce Morgan or Jordan Peterson. The incels do it. Anything else here? Researchers estimate it'll take about 2 months. Oh, here it is. Researchers estimate it'll take about 2 months to determine whether the DART was successful. See, it wasn't successful. They don't even know.
Well, I guess it might have been.
You're telling me. Oh, yeah. It's like, researchers estimate it'll take about 2 months to determine whether DART was successful. Lucie hears, yeah, it's all good. They finished it. It's all done. No, there's no more tests.
They actually
shut it down.
They actually moved it so that it's heading right for Earth now.
Yeah. I think it's great. President Lucie. Well, that's great. I mean, I do worry a lot about asteroids and meteors and, which and you know who doesn't?
Who?
Greta Thunberg. She thinks that, it's all my fault. And it's all your fault. That, we're just pigs who use too much hairspray. Right? We're just pigs who eat too much butter. And she doesn't care if a rock hits a child. I mean, how old is she now? She's got to be like 18, right? I don't mean any weird stuff. I'm saying that she's like, I should be an adult now, right? It seems like she had this big splash when she was 12. Right. And what has she done since? I mean, now that she's an adult-ish age, right? Maybe she's 60, I don't know. Shouldn't she be like, running an army somewhere?
Right.
19. She's 19? Hold on. How is that true? Greta Thunberg, the child, is 19. Is that her now?
Yeah, I think that's a picture of her.
That's a picture of her now. Why does she look so young? She looks small.
Well, probably the most used images of her were when she was like younger and doing speeches.
But that's what she was yelling at. So why is she not silent on this whole asteroid thing? She's a 19-year-old activist, and she's just sitting there going like, she's not helping?
Yeah, but like, do people really need... I mean, does anyone not want to try and knock asteroids off track?
I mean, I think... Look, I'm just saying, if that's the problem that we have to deal with, why do I care? Why is this kid yelling at me about, like, hydrocarbons or whatever? Why is she getting all, you're the devil. You fat and you eat butter. Duh. Like she's at the UN just like all these sovereign leaders. She's just like, you're trash. You're all rat dirty trash. I'm from the Dutch Netherlands or whatever. Where's she from?
She's where is she from?
Glasgow.
Sweden.
She's Sweden. You know what we make in Sweden? Fish. What do they do there in Sweden? What's big in Sweden?
I think Stockholm. I think that might be a fishing.
Weren't they like the peace-loving nature of the world? But then as soon as they got like 2 immigrants, like they became like super racist.
Yeah, well, I think they are pretty like closed off.
Not anymore though. They got a bunch of immigrants a few years ago,
right?
When the whole refugee crisis happened, and then they went hard right or something. But apparently Greta Thunberg, like, we should plant more trees, you pigs. Anyway, Wonderful. Before we leave today, we have is there a better way to say this? No, enemy of the show. We do have a legit enemy, Elon Musk, and he's back in the news because apparently there's texts. Someone's released texts that he's into. Tell me about this.
Like how do these like text dumps happen? It's always like, oh, we got a bunch of these people's texts. Like, look at how weird they are. But they never like, how did it actually happen?
Well, tell me about it. Tell me the details.
Yesterday, the world got a look inside Elon Musk's phone. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO is currently in litigation with Twitter and trying to back out of his deal to buy the platform and take it private. As part of the discovery process related to this lawsuit, Delaware's Court of Chancery released hundreds of text messages and emails sent to and from Musk. The 151-page redacted document is a remarkable voyeuristic record of a few months in the life of the world's richest and most overexposed man, and a rare unvarnished glimpse into the overlapping worlds of Silicon Valley, media, and politics. Are you going to be in these texts?
I mean, I look, I don't know if he managed to not delete the text that I did send to numbers I was told was him. Maybe. If you'll see him going like, I know what you did with your dick. I just send these things hoping like fishing expeditions. I know what you did with your dick. I know what you did with the hammer. I know what you did to those indigenous people. And just hoping he says something like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? That island nation no longer has can have kids because I sterilized everyone." That's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
But I might have been given the wrong number. What else we got here? Does the sex are juicy?
The texts are juicy, but not because they are lurid, particularly offensive, or offer some scandalous Muskian master plan. Quite the opposite. What is so illuminating about the Musk messages is how unimpressive, unimaginative, and sycophantic the powerful men in Musk's contacts appear to be. Whoever said there are no bad ideas in brainstorming never had access to Elon Musk's phone. Well, this seems to be a little bit like...
I mean, look, I'm not a defender of Elon Musk. I never have been. Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I would never take any shit from the Atlantic. Who are these people, the Atlantic? What is the Atlantic? It's like the New Yorker, but like the whole ocean. It's like, we're the New Yorker. Okay, it's like you just write about New York. Not really. It's kind of a faux highbrow, kind of, stupid... It's a poor guy's version of what a rich guy talks about. What do you guys do? Oh, the Atlantic. Yeah, we totally like it's like ocean. It's like Billy Joel, Oyster Bay, fisherman. Oh, so it's like blue collar. No, we're very high. We're very pretentious. See, like we're trying to what is their gimmick? Why do they exist?
Yeah.
Who is the Atlantic? It's a whole ocean. What are they talking about? Seriously, look it up.
Yeah, where are they from?
Look up the Atlantic. I mean, we might have a new enemy on the show. Just Wikipedia this. I want to know who these people are. I can't imagine being the richest man in the world and like, oh no, the Atlantic has my text. Is it American?
So the Atlantic, it was founded in 1857 in Boston.
Wait, Barack Obama owns it? Oh, no, he's just on the
I think
cover.
that's just the cover. But Obama owns the Atlantic. I guess he does have the Netflix deal or whatever, so he could be into media. I guess he could own the Atlantic if he wanted to.
Honestly, it's just the dumbest name. What is the... Let's get to the bottom. Let's scroll down.
Okay, the Atlantic...
Sorry, I'm taking over.
The Atlantic is an American magazine and multi-platform publisher. It features articles, blah, 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 blah. It was founded in 1857 in Boston as the Atlantic Monthly, a literary and cultural magazine that published leading writers' commentary on education, the abolition of slavery, and other major political issues of that time.
Wait. That's your description of the mag? Well, they talked about things like what? Well, when slavery got abolished, they mentioned it. Okay, I mean, pro or con? Well, both. Some people are happy, some weren't. What do you want me to do? It's the Atlantic. It's a big ocean.
It's a big ocean. There are a lot of opinions in that ocean.
You think Monthly Almanac wasn't? This is a.
It was co-founded by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
What was he? Who was he? I know he's a poet of some sort.
He did like Walden Pond, right?
No, that's Henry David Thoreau.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, using your logic, it could, the Atlantic is owned by Mark David Chapman. Just anyone with 3 names.
Emerson, I always get those two mixed up. I'm not sure what Emerson's deal was.
Let's look him up. Now I want to know. Who went by his middle name Waldo?
Yeah, the Transcendentalist movement. He was a big part of that.
What does that mean? Like I'm a tree? I can be a tree if I feel like it? Look at this guy. Look at this. His face does look like he looks like Groot from the Avengers movies. Anyway. So Elon Musk, what before we go, I mean, did these texts say anything? Did he tell people that he's the he's gonna pump and dump stocks?
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of gave it away that it's not really scandalous. So I'm not even sure what the point of writing an article about it is.
Sucks. Our reporters have secured a trove of recipes he downloaded from Epicurious.com. We got you mother.
There's no standard anymore of there's been this text dump and we're going to talk about it because we think there's some public interest related stuff in here.
Right.
And now it's just like, we got a dump. Like, look what's in here. Yeah. Like, it's like, there's no like standard of like, it has to be like, something the public can like benefit from knowing.
It's like when you buy cards, like trading cards, and you buy the whole box, but you don't know what's in there. And I'm trying to get like a Don Mattingly card. The only guy's a bunch of, I don't know, Mookie Wilsons. Because there's no guarantee. It's like I knew a guy I used to play poker with in Long Island who would buy entire spools of scratch-off tickets. And he said that every scratch-off reel or whatever is like guaranteed to have a certain amount of winners, so you can always break even. I don't think that's true. I mean, I don't think he became rich. I mean, if that was true, he would have become rich. If there's no losses. I think he's still playing poker in some backyard in Lindenhurst or something. I'm just saying that I don't want people going and doing that. But that's what this sounds like.
Right.
It sounds like a homeless guy or a guy on the verge of homelessness going like, I got a bunch of texts. What can you give? Can you give me a sandwich for that? Maybe I get a nice ham sandwich if I give you this. I got a bunch of medical records from what's the kid's name? Mr. Mistleplex or whatever?
Mr.
Anyway.
Mr. Beast. Maybe that's a Mr. Beast.
Is Mr. Beast related to Elon Musk?
No, I mean, but he's a big guy.
Should we get a bunch of texts about Mr. Beast and send them to Harper's Monthly? The Mr. Beast trove. So what's the is he stepping down from Tesla or what's going on?
I don't think so. I don't think he'll.
So who cares?
Yeah.
This is not a story. The Atlantic is just mucking around like muckrakers. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can get an extra episode of Kump every week for only $5 a month by going to our Patreon. The link is in the description. I think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.